A very good evening, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH 286, Patricia and David, from a very wintry, chilly Gulf Harbour. It's definitely, it's winter, and we're now starting to feel it and thinking that getting out warm woolies would be a good idea. It's 16 degrees outside at the moment. It's going to drop, I think they said, to 11 tonight. 3 knots from the north, 1019er, and 100% cloud cover. It's been just overall cloud, nothing, no CBs or anything, just sort of strata Q, well, bit of cirrus way up there. But yes, nothing very dramatic, no precipitation today, just grey and miserable underneath this anticyclone. All right, we have a bit of discussion that David will be talking about, what with the front and the people that want to get going. Oh, and buonasera to Y2K, Max and Ali. Good evening to you all there at Ranby, one of our favourite spots. Anyway, I was reading that from the streaming. Sahula, Scoots, Soy Libra, and maybe Aka on tonight. Let's first of all go to Sahula, Gulf Harbour. Nothing heard from Sahula. I might have to get somebody to give them a call. They had quite strong winds this morning, but it should have gone around to the southwest by now. Just like confirmation of that. They're closing in on Bundaberg. Right, let's go to Scoots, Gulf Harbour.
Gulf Harbour, Scoots, copy.
Yeah, great copy from you, Daryl, and I hope it looks like you are definitely going to get in time to manoeuvre. Go ahead, over.
Yeah, evening, Patricia, David. Our position, 2624 south, 17900 west. We're on course of 012 true, a speed of 8 knots. We have the winds of 15 knots from 20 true. The cloud cover of 80% and a 1 metre 12 gussie with a bar of 1018. 170 miles to go to the near the north with an ETA of 1600 tomorrow. Copy that?
I certainly did. I just need one full because there was a bit of it just clicked out for a minute. 26. This is Scoots going to North Minerva. 2624 south, 17900 west, 012 true at 8 knots. 15 knots, I think you said, from the northeast. Could you just confirm that? 15 northeast, over?
Negative breeze with one at the moment is from 120 true. Over.
That makes more sense. Thank you very much. We'll make that southeast. Thank you. And 80% cloud cover and 1 metre southeast swell, 1018. And 170 miles to go to North Minerva, so they'll be there around 4 p.m. Great time for fishing through the pass. Any comments from David, or are you going to hold those until you hear from Soy Libra?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll just hold on that one, so we'll do it all at the same time because there's a lot of activity coming, as you well know. So it sounds all good on board, and you'll be looking forward to a bit of a rest there. And we'll talk to you again tomorrow, Daryl. Over.
Yeah, all on board, and looking forward to a full night sleep tomorrow night. That's good, fair.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, and by the way, did you hear anything when I called Sahula? Did you hear anything back again? Over.
Negative. Didn't hear any response. Over.
Thank you for that. All right, let's go to Soy Libra, Gulf Harbour.
Soy Libra. Hey, Patricia. I am currently at 27 degrees, 24 minutes south, 178 degrees, 51 east. I'm doing 5 knots. The wind is out of northeast at 13 knots. And we have seas, not swells right now. I have seas at 1 meter out of the northeast and 50% cloud cover. And barometer is 1021.
And I have a strong radio signal from you, but an equally strong, what would you just, it sounds like a drummer is going on in the background. You've got some noise coming through from something, but the radio is very strong, which is good because the other noise is rather puzzling. Soy Libre is at 2724 south, 17851 east, on a course of 026 true towards Minerva, 5 to 6 knots with a northeast. I saw that over where you are, 15, and that's why I wanted clarification from Scoots. They're further east of you. Seas are, this is the seas just from that wind, about 1 meter, quite choppy. 50% cloud cover and 1021 on the bar. Yep, well, you're just a little bit behind, so you're going to experience a bit of interesting weather tomorrow, but I will leave that for David to discuss. Other than what's coming, is all well on board, Andy? Over.
Everything's good on board. I'm looking forward to the weather tomorrow. Only anticipating on your phone. I am going a little high on my course, so that I can come down with the wind shift to Minerva.
Yep, roger that. Okay, we'll know what you're doing then. Okay, I will clear with you, and I'll just check if Arca is on frequency. Arca, Gulf Harbour.
Gulf Harbour, Arca, I can hear you tonight. Last night you faded away, over.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it was a little bit strange last night. Anyway, I hope you're coming through light, but perfectly readable. Ed, go ahead.
Okay, our position is 2743 south, 17707 east. And we're doing 5.1 on a course of, let's see, that would be 16 true. And we're just going to be out here in the middle of nowhere when it all comes down, over.
What's the wind like at the moment and the sea conditions? Over.
Roger, I've got northeast winds, 14 knots. Sea conditions are really short, 1 to 1.5 meters, and about 90% cloud cover, over.
Roger. I have you at 2743 south, 17707 east, on a course of 016 true at the moment at 5.1, with a northeast 15 and 1 to 1.5 meter seas, 90% cloud cover. And we'll be passing the microphone shortly for David to describe what's going to happen tomorrow.
We'll just do the three of them.
And we'll do it right now, he says. And then I'm going to, I think I heard Sahula in the background, so we'll just wait on you, Sahula, and we'll deal with these boats that are closer to the action. Here's David.
Right, okay. Soy Libre and Aka, what is your ETA?
One at a time.
To Minerva. I'll call Soy Libre first, Andy. ETA for Minerva. Over.
Yeah. Give me a sec, Dave.
Yep, give him a sec, so ask Aka now.
Okay, Ed on Aka, ETA for Minerva, please.
To go to Minerva, so I'm just aiming at Kendabu, over.
Okay, Kendabu.
Okay, you're bypassing Minerva, heading
He's too far west.
Yeah, you're
He's
too
going
far
to
west.
Kendabu.
Okay, looking at the winds for both Scoots and Soy Libre, a little bit difference because of the actual position of both of the U-boats, but Soy Libra, I've got you at about 25 degrees and pretty much the date line tomorrow at about this time, Wednesday. And it looks like winds out of the northeast winds, uh, gusting 22 knots, 23 knots, like that. And for scoots getting into Minerva, virtually the same thing. Uh, just checking some of the other models. Yeah, I've got two models are pretty much in agreement with that. So scoots, you'll get about the same thing, 21, 23 knots in the gusts. The cold front is just to the west of both of you. And then as far as Aka is concerned, at 177, 27 and 177, heading to Kendabu, you are going to get virtually the same winds out of the northeast with pretty much the same gusts. You might be getting maybe even slightly stronger gusts, being a little bit further to the west than they are. And that would mean the cold front is going to get to you first. So what I'm going to do now is go through the ordinary broadcast that I do, and then I'll cover what that cold front is doing. And so all three of you should probably pay attention to that. I realize that you are getting weather data yourselves, but this is all from me, and I'm basically trying to get about 3 or 4 models to come into some sort of agreement. So anyway, I'll start off saying good evening to everybody on frequency, and we'll start, I think, with a good look at the weather tomorrow, which is for June. Boy, time is moving. Our high, as we mentioned yesterday, is moving east, and by lunchtime tomorrow, Wednesday, the center will be located near 35 south and 165 west, 35 south, 165 west. Central pressure 1028 millibars, so it's fairly strong, and probably will get a little bit stronger as it goes east. Now the depression, which formed in the upper Tasman, that will move more or less south and be located tomorrow 38 south and 165 east. Now there is a secondary low that's located just off 90 Mile Beach here in New Zealand, and it has an associated warm front and cold front, and that extends northward, of course, over the North Island. Now the low combo, I call it a combo because there's two centers, pushes into the western side of our high, causing the isobars to run more or less north-south. Thus, the winds on, say, Rumline to Fiji will be north to northeast. Now, the depressions become one later on Wednesday and really wind up. It's going to be quite an interesting looking situation. The pressure drops to 980 millibar, 980 millibar, and the resultant cold front runs from New Zealand to Vanuatu. That's the axis. So that is Wednesday. That's tomorrow, about this time tomorrow. So New Zealand to Vanuatu. Now the wind gusts will be gale force and associated rain, a lot of squalls, and a lot of thunderstorms. I'm looking at the review on the thunderstorm activity, and it's all up and down this cold front. So be wary of that, particularly at night, and of course you'll pick those up on your radar. Now the front continues to move east, and the axis looks to be over Minerva around 7 a.m. on Friday. So those of you that get to Minerva before that, which you will, certainly we'll be prepared for that, snug at anchor. Whereas Aka I'm afraid, is going to be in the middle of this front as it moves east. So just be prepared for that as well. Now, Tonga Met Service predicts for Thursday northeast winds 15 to 25, gusting to 30. They forecast seas up to 3 meters, plus a southerly swell up to 2.5 meters. So pretty good sized waves on Thursday. But Scoots will be in, and Soy Libre is getting in on Thursday. Morning, is it? That he said I couldn't quite hear.
No, they'll be a bit later. Yes, Thursday.
Definitely,
Scoots is in tomorrow.
definitely
Soy
Thursday
Libre.
for Haka.
Okay. No, Soy Libre.
No, sorry, Soy Libre. So do you, Soy Libre, and Scoots have any questions about this? Come now.
Okay, Dan, it's Danny on Soy Libre. My estimated time consistent with the normal weather would be to arrive 40 hours from now. I'm thinking that at some point, with what you're talking about there, I'm probably going to be heaving too.
He'll be heaving too. It's very noisy. He'll be heaving too. 20 hours from now.
Okay,
So
20 hours. I got that, Patricia. I couldn't understand you.
with the noise.
There's just a lot of noise in your signal. It's incredibly loud, but so is the noise, and they're competing with one another. But we got you. So, all right. Well, that's good. The sooner that you get in, the better, of course. And the really nasty weather actually starts, I would say, on Thursday, but you will be in.
No, he won't be in. No.
Hold on a minute.
Soy Libre will not be in tomorrow. He will be Thursday.
Yeah. Okay, so Thursday is when the start of the strong winds begin, I guess is the best way to say it, but not until later on Thursday from what I can see. So, and still northeast, no change in that. So, Andy, you will be probably okay because looking very late, as an example, Friday at 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm showing winds of 38 to 42 knots, northeast. So you'll be snug by then, that's for sure. And then heading up to Kandavu, I'm afraid those strong winds, from what I could see, are all the way up to 20 south. And those winds on late Thursday into Friday are going to be north, maybe even northwest. So you can picture what's happening. The isobars from the high are clashing with the isobars of the low, and they're just creating a swash between the two, and that whole mess is moving slowly to the east. So hopefully that explains everything. Any other questions before I move on?
My estimated time of arrival is 40 hours.
40 hours. Okay, 40 hours. So he's going to have to heave too. 40
Okay.
hours from now.
40 hours from now, so that puts it.
Well, he'll have to. It'll be maybe too late.
That's Soy Libre.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah, that's. Yeah. Well, I guess put the pedal to the metal.
We can't do much more because of the wind direction.
Yeah, the wind direction is going to mess things up for you. I certainly could see that. But anyway, things can change. So we'll talk to you.
Is a good idea.
We'll talk to you tomorrow to see where you are, exactly where you are, and go from there. Hang on a minute. I got more to say.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to. And Sahula, I know you probably think we've forgotten you, but I'm deliberately leaving you until things get a bit later and propagation will be better towards Australia. So back to David.
Okay, the other questions that we're getting is leaving New Zealand on Friday, this coming Friday. Well, quite frankly, we wouldn't do it. This is the back end of the low, which ordinarily provides very nice southwest winds. And there will be southwest winds on Friday, and there'll be southwest winds on Saturday as well. But unfortunately, they're going to be almost gale force. So us being old, tired, we wouldn't go. But if you're young and your boat is strong and your stomach is strong, maybe. Uh, Probably the best approach would be to look at Sunday if it were us. And that is supported by a fairly weak high that's developed quite high. It's up around 22 degrees south, which is pretty far up there for a high this time of the year. That will change. But anyway, you have to think about your ETAs because from the way things are going this season, it's taking about 3 days to get to 30 south, just about 3 days. And then if you're wanting to stop at Minerva, it's going to take anywhere from 4 to 5 days once you get to 30 south. So you need to look at your weather as that time goes by. And what is going to happen is that little pie that we talked about is going to move to the southeast, and it's going to be kind of squashed itself. It's going to look like, well, you know that famous art
The Scream
portrait called the Scream. Well, that's what it looks like. That's what the isobars look like. The big low to the east is pushing in on the east side of the high, and a new low is in the Tasman is pushing in on the west side of that high. So you can see how the area around New Zealand is getting squashed, whereas up around Minerva and Fiji and so forth, the isobars are spread out. So that means the winds are going to change direction quite rapidly. So you just have to look to see what your ETAs are going to be as to whether or not you could leave on Sunday. It could be quite a gamble because what will happen is if, for example, you don't get up to Minerva by, say, late on the 12th or the 13th, you're going to have headwinds. And that's because that high will have moved east and also the isobars are going to be squashed a little bit due to this low. And there is a cold front that will be chasing you. Right behind you is a cold front. So anyway, that is my answer to can we leave on Friday? And, and we wouldn't. So you got to do a lot of homework in this. So that's pretty much what you have to do. So with that, here's the chief.
Yeah, it's really messy looking at the everything. I know it's very tempting to choose a model that sort of tells you what you want to see, but boy, what a messy Pacific Ocean we've got at the moment. Okay, now I'm going to try and see if it's now late enough to be able to copy Sahula Gulf Harbour. Yes, you're still pretty light, Lynn, but I'm going to, maybe somebody out there will be able to fill in for you. But go ahead and just repeat everything and make sure the radio is on high power, and we'll see how we go. Go ahead.
East 156 degrees 13. We are home to. The wind has now dropped from 30 knots on the nose to just about 8 knots from the west. The sea is frothy, 1.5 meter swell at the west. A large squall line past about 3 hours ago, got to 35. We are considering setting sail again now because the squall line has passed. Over.
Okay, got all that. You came up quite clearly, actually. We have Sahula trying to get to Bundaberg and currently hove to. That confounded low didn't move as quickly as it should have moved. 2516 south, 15613 east. They were getting, well, they had a squall line with gusts to 35. It was around the 30 knots on the nose, but has now started to back finally, and it's 8 knots from the west, so they will get underway shortly. It should move reasonably quickly to the west-southwest and southwest, hopefully. So whoever's on watch tonight should be slowly adjusting sails. Really sloppy seas, 1.5 metres from the west, 100% cloud cover. But you guys know how to hove to, so I guess all is well on board. Over.
Yes, definitely all is well on board. All of the fishes are clean and fairly floated. Over.
Okay, that's all correct.
Okay, hello, Len. Looking at tomorrow, southwest winds again, 20 knots, thereabouts. But I do have a very good satellite picture in front of me right now. That is, it's about 2 minutes old, and the edge of the cloud band that's giving you grief is at about 24 degrees 46 minutes and 154 degrees 53 minutes. That's the edge of it. So east of that to about, let's see here, east to about 2451 and 15641, that is where the squalls are. And then further east, it's desperately bad. You don't want to be in that. So anyway, everything is moving kind of to the south, but there are a lot of lightning flashes I'm seeing on the satellite image, which is the great thing about this imagery now that they've got. You can see the thunderstorms quite easily. So there you are. Keep going west and you'll be out of it. So there you go. Here's the chief.
Yeah, hopefully you copied that, Lynn, because at least there's light at the end of the tunnel. Over.
As I understand this, the squalls have passed us, hopefully, as it continues on when we can have.
Yeah, I think you got it. You're quite light. I'm just watching the lightning flashes in the squall line, which is now well to your east, actually. So you are on the edge of it all, and things will definitely improve over the course of the night, or evening and night. So you should be sounding a lot more cheerful tomorrow when we talk to you. So we will wish you a good night, and glad that you have weathered it nicely with heaving to, and all safe and sound, and you will be doing much better tomorrow with the southwest winds. So have a good night, you both. It will be better, and we'll talk in the morning. Back to Sahula. Okay, is there anybody wanting any further clarification of anything? This is Gulf Harbour Radio.
Do you copy?
Oh, great copy from you, Max, and good evening to Ellie. I guess it must not be really good weather, otherwise you'd be in the pool. Over.
No, it's better to swim in the sea, of course. No, everything is good. We stayed a couple of days in Harbour in the north of Abbey Island, and now we moved south in the South Anchorage because the wind changed to more to northeast. Over.
Yeah, we haven't actually anchored in that southern one. We usually are up, in the northern one. But yeah, haven't been to the southern one. Oh, well, if you stay there long enough, that's where the church is. You'll all be able to go to church on Sunday. Over.
Yeah, but still, it's just Tuesday, so I don't know. I have to wait Sunday, but bad weather coming, so probably Friday, and when the wind changes to west, we have to change also anchorages. Over.
Yep, indeed. Yep. So, yes, certainly a lot of interesting weather around at the moment. But gosh, your signal is fantastic. Just as a matter of interest, were you able to copy the last caller, Lynn, on Sahula? Over?
She was very light. I can copy a few words, but probably I have to put the earplug, but it's very light. Over.
Interesting. Yeah, we feel a bit guilty being on at this time because it is a bit early for the boats on the Australian coast. But the alternative is to get up early in the morning. And, well, we haven't done that since COVID. So we are enjoying our sleep-ins in the morning. And this time of the night suits us well. But I do know that it's not all that great for people going up the coast of Oz into the Coral Sea proper. So anyway, all right. Well, nice to talk to you. Just wondered if you've heard anything from Marina and I've forgotten his name, Diego and Marina. Have you heard from them lately? Over.
It was their birthday a few days ago, last week, May 20th and May 22nd. They were their birthday, so we heard them to wish them happy birthday. They are quite good finally. The winter season is stopping in the country. Over.
Oh, okay. Yep. Well, yeah, they'll be looking forward to summer, that's for sure. Yep. All right. Well, I'll have to hassle them again for some photos now that everything will be finished in the house. Well, probably. All right. Nice to talk to you, and hi to Ellie. All right. We'll clear with Y2K. I'll just check to see if there's anybody else.
Yes, so Libre. Question for Dave. When is this mess supposed to be over?
Okay, the question from Soy Libre is, when is the mess going to be over? Well, that's a jolly good question, isn't it? You want to know how long you're going to have to sit around Minerva. Just stand by and he'll just dust off the internet here, or the crystal ball, whatever he's using at the moment, and we'll have a look. Oh, and by the way, that noise that you had on your signal before was not on that time. Did you switch something off? Over?
Yeah, I tuned.
Yeah, tuned.
Oh, you tuned. Oh, well, that was nice. Here's David.
Well, yes, now I can understand you. It was touch and go there for a while. Yeah, you're coming in just as loud as Scooch was. Things will start to be over Friday afternoon, I would say, by around this time, actually. Winds will be up to about 15, 18 knots from the west. And then, is this the end of it? Let's see. Yep. Then the winds look like they're going to continue to back. They'll be southwest come early Saturday morning, and then by Sunday, they probably will be out of the south and quite light. I'd say about 15 knots, 15 knots. Over.
What I'm thinking is if things get too weird out there, I'm gonna probably just heave to and not even go into Minerva because I wouldn't want to be casually at the path.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you want to spend a couple of days there, more than a couple of days, the weather looks decent for that. The high is going to move in. That's the one I was saying that's fairly high, or low in latitude, whatever you want to call it. In other words, about 22 south. And it's going to be centered at about 175 west. That's on Monday. And your winds in Minerva will be southeast, I guess, about 15 knots. However, up in Fiji, Kindavu, Fiji, mostly everywhere in Fiji, the winds catch up to them. And up there, they're going to have probably 25 to 30 knots of wind out of the southeast. So, quite frankly, I think staying in Minerva is probably a good idea. Um, However, the models change fairly frequently, so we will keep an eye on it, and as the days roll on, we'll keep you updated, and then you can let us know what you decide to do. Over.
Actually, I was planning on staying in Minerva for 2 to 4 weeks. So,
Oh,
Oh, okay. Well, my crystal ball is
not
cracked
that
when
far.
it goes out that far, that's for sure. So, yeah, well, you are going to do a lot of exploring there, that's for sure. Um, I'm looking, you can only go out about 10 days on these models, and it's like flipping a coin, quite frankly. But going out to, say, the 17th, it's beautiful. There's almost no wind, 5 to 8 knots, uh, calm seas, uh, low just off of North Cape, just to the east of North Cape is the next low, and it's a small one, not huge like the last ones have been. So you may be lucky. There may be a couple of days where it's a little snotty, but the rest of it could very well be to your liking. Over.
yeah, I think so. Like I said, if this weather gets really weird, while I'm outside of Minerva, I may just keep to and wait till Friday, when the weather gets a little bit better and come in, so I don't have any issues getting into getting into Minerva. But otherwise, I'm gonna try and get in there as soon as possible.
Yeah, it's easy enough.
Yeah, right. And if you have VHF contact with Scoots, they may be able to give you some input on what the pass looks like when you arrive. Over.
I sure will.
Yeah, okay, good show. Alrighty, here's the chief.
And I forgot to tell Scoots, because the other boat that's going in there is that we know about is Papillon. It's catamaran, and they currently, 2 minutes ago, were doing 10.3 knots towards Minerva, and they are at 25 degrees 03 minutes south and 17839 west. So we'll have Scoots and Papillon and maybe Invictus there as well. So hopefully the boats further west that are going straight north, Kailani and Kaya, I don't know who Blue Fortune is, but hopefully they know what's coming at them, because they will certainly have to look at dealing with it. All right then, that's about it from us. I'll just check whether there's anybody else wanting anything. Last call from Gulf Harbour Radio.
Gulf Harbour Radio, okay?
Yeah, go ahead, Ed.
Yeah, just tell them going into Minerva with any kind of westerly component winds, watch your tide. You'll get standing waves in the pass otherwise.
Okay, hopefully I'm sure they heard that. With any sort of westerly winds, the standing waves, yes, boy, we know about that from French Polynesia. That's not to be trifled with. Is there going to be any westerly winds? I'm passing the microphone.
Negative, no westerlies getting into Minerva on
Thursday,
or Friday for that matter. So that's good at least.
Thanks for that, Ed. Always appreciated. Right, and that's about it from us. Nothing further from here. We will be back again tomorrow. If anybody wants the frequency, you're more than welcome to use it, and we will talk to you again tomorrow. Cheers, everybody. Gulf Harbour Radio clear.